that's it. At the end of the day, when you're building something which no one else has built before and you're trying to carve your own path, then who is there to give you advice?
That this isn't going to be a if they like it thing, and so when they do it and when we all move forward. Very few people think beyond their own. You guys work in the world of all boats rise at the same time.
The amount of work he puts in is just crazy.
But upon taking a business to a level of which we're taking the company now, naturally means that you're going to get exposure.
What would happen if Alex just said, I don't want to work with any of you, and you don't use my software? It will be chaos.
It's a whole mindset shift. It's a complete mindset shift. That taking a company to this level, it involves killing an older version of yourself to be able to accept what's coming.
So you don't have these kinds of things happen?
That's why we're doing that bit. That's why, because when you're relying on third parties, you are a part of the value chain. We want to own the entire value chain. We want to scale both horizontally and vertically. So, yeah, it takes investment and time and resources, but ultimately, once you own the entire factory, you're in a pretty sweet position.
There's so few of those examples out there right now, especially in terms of the linkage with AI and machine learning and the smart intelligence and the smart supercomputer stuff that you guys are doing. Once we have those building blocks in place and you visually show that to an asset manager or a hedge fund or a family office or any of these guys, and you show like this, look, this is what we already have in place. I think that in itself will, in many ways close the deal, because they'll see everything and they'll be like, well, this is what we want to be a part of.
Exactly, that's exactly what we're trying to do, and that's great to hear. It's great to hear. So I guess we've got a lot of work to do and a few key decisions to make. So hopefully we can round off the year with some really strong direction and head into the new year with a lot of momentum and clarity, because I think it's going to be a big one, and to be honest I don't know what's in store, but I'm very excited for it. So Akbar, thank you for jumping on and giving me the updates. I guess we'll probably have a catch up later in the week and we'll see how things are going from there. But as always, if you need anything from my side, I'm always here to help, and I'm sure we'll catch up very soon. The more that we realise our technology is going global, the more we realise it's creating a real impact. The more we have to understand that these things need to be considered not just from a company level, but also from a perspective of ensuring that the nation that we've launched the business from is up to speed and is aware of the growth of the business.
Just on the surface, when you look at this, it's a remarkable opportunity for the Isle of Man. And you know the digital Isle of Man well. You've worked with them for a long time. They've helped you get everything you need in terms of Virtus to help prove the back end capabilities, the $1 billion in a day that you guys have achieved in trading and more. And it's funny when you even just look at that and say that one number, it sort of doesn't even make sense that on all the other days that you're not hitting a, you're actually in the billion a day, which is by no small means any small accomplishment. Like it's truly remarkable, especially within 10 months. And so now you've taken this position, you've decided you're going to go ahead and leverage it for your own company. But in the doing of this, you've realized along the way that you can also leverage an entire nation.
Because it is just as much of an opportunity for them as it is for us. And we, of course, have done the heavy lifting, so to speak, in terms of building the company and the foundations and scaling it to where it is as of now. And as you know, Manny, we haven't even got started. Everything we've done today or to date has been through a very small network. We've not pushed anything to the public. The world has not woken up to what we have, purposefully, because we've kept it very close to our chest for the reason of making sure that the product is perfect before it goes out to a much larger audience. Because we understand the impact that it can have on the world and the impact that it can have on people's lives. So from that perspective, it's extremely exciting. I think the timing on both ends is incredible, and if it isn't going to be us that does this with the Isle of Man, then I don't know who it would be. So we'll see what we can do with this meeting, and we're obviously going to put pressure on from both sides. So it's exciting for sure, and I guess we'll see where it takes us.
From the moment I met Alex, I've seen him go from nothing to where he is today, and that's honestly taken so much hard work and dedication and resilience. The amount of times he's built himself back up from zero is just really impressive, to be honest. And from the moment he wakes up to the moment he goes to sleep, it's just work, work, work. He doesn't take a moment away from the screen. Obviously, as a caring girlfriend, I really do try and take him away from the screen as much as I can, but it's just impossible.
With all of this obviously comes an insane amount of stress, and that's why as founders we need to make sure that we're sharp. We need to make sure that our mind, our body and our soul are in a place where they should be. And for me personally, this is why I like to focus on fitness. This is why I like to push my body to places that it doesn't want to go. It's the only place that I can really detach from what's going on the outside. Place is insane, man.
That's the behind the scenes of the Instagram carousel.
Don't be giving away the IP. There's a hidden secret to how each one of these pictures is taken. In Milan, when you would go into the coffee shops dressed like this, everyone would look at you like you had like 3 heads, because everyone's dressed so elegantly and so well. In fact, I almost felt like I was being rude going in anywhere, like still at my gym.
Yeah.
Because people in Milan, they just have this etiquette about them, the way that they dress and they present themselves. It's unbelievable, and I like it because it feels like we're back in the 1950s, where everyone used to dress up and put on a suit and dress when they would go out for their meals. It was really, really unique and really nice.
Fully transparent. I think we're at the point where we're like far enough vertically integrated, whereas we understand how a liquidity provider works, how a prime broker works, how a broker works, how a quant firm like ourselves works, like retail traders work, and we can by knowing all of these, we have all the puzzle pieces, and now we just decide where we want to make our money. And I think where we established right now, and then a little bit further up the line at the LP side, are the 2 first things that you want to capture, because that gives you full control and maximum margin.
Yeah. My co-founders in the business come from multiple different backgrounds, from quantitative finance to aerospace, biotechnology to defense. Without these guys, without the partners that I work with, there is no way that we'd be ever able to take the business to where we have done in such a small space of time. That's Julius. He's an absolute genius. Julius is a genius, as is Michael. Both just, there really are no words for these guys. They think on an entirely other spectrum to anyone I've ever met. And to even have them in the company and to be able to call them my founders is something which I'm thankful for every single day, because not only are they great people and not only are they super clever, but it means that everything we do, everything that we are able to achieve is just so much fun. None of it ever feels like it's work. None of it just feels tough. It's because when you do something with the people that you really, really enjoy spending time with, it's just a game to you at the end of the day. And these guys, they will be on Python coding away until 4, 5 in the morning, and it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and I'm thankful to have the opportunity to work with the both of them. Upon taking a company to where we're taking the business right now, you naturally gain exposure. Exposure from places that you never would have thought that you would have got to, from places and people that you never ever thought would have been a possibility only 12 months ago. This exposure comes with equal and opposite reactions. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, both in a positive and also sometimes in a negative light. It isn't until you're in this position and then you start to see what it's like to be in this moment, that you begin to realize that you have to start thinking layers and layers deep. It's not just you who gets the exposure, it's not just your business, it's the people around you, it's your family, it's your friends. And that shapes the way that people ever look at you again. Upon seeing these articles, upon seeing this writing, some people will never ever look at you the same way.
Now that you're doing this, how do we get it out there, right? What do we look at? What kinds of media do we talk to? Are we shifting our gears a little bit, adding in more business press, adding in, obviously we're always talking to tech press, but are we doing more, spotlight pieces that talk about you, Alex Foster, as opposed to just Virtus or one of your other entities? And I think as we do that, there's a beautiful transition from that into speaking at trade shows in 2026, either on panels or as a keynote, both in the US and globally. But I also think that creates a wonderful opportunity, knowing what the big announcements are that we're planning to make and not sharing them, because we're not going to share them until we're ready to. But to add in press tours where, you're coming to the United States or I'm coming to Europe and we're sitting and meeting with media over 3-4 days, 10, 15, 20 reporters at some of the top publications in the world, sitting down and talking to them about Virtus, about Alex, about the team, about where we're going and why there's so much momentum in what we're doing. And, one of the great story angles we can talk about is everybody thinks the AI bubble is going to burst, but the reality of the situation is everything you're doing isn't just AI. It's so much bigger and so much more well thought and so much more dedicated and committed. And what it doesn't do is take out the human. It completely humanizes what you're doing. And I think that's a very sexy subject for media to cover and to talk about that's going to come up when we do these desk sides.
I'm looking forward to it all. I think it's going to be a very interesting year, and I guess we'll see where the wind takes us, and just have to continue doubling down and continuing on the trajectory that we're on. So, Brooke, I wanted to say thank you so much for your time and thank you for the update, and I guess we'll catch up very soon.
Do you have the right phone? Oh my gosh, you guys are so crazy going out without jackets on. Thank you.
What do you always say famously? What's your famous quote? About fashion or being...
Oh, sure.
What is it?
I can't remember.
Fashion isn't comfortable or something like that. I'm not here to be comfortable, we're here to be dressed well.
Do you think you dress well?
Wearing black t-shirts.
You look good, it's fine.
I'm much more in recent colors.
That's what I love about being in these cities, the people that you meet. And you just have to go and say hello. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, we'll drop him a message and see what he's about. As you know, we have this press release coming out, and I'm really thinking about how to deliver it to everyone, because obviously it's the first time ever really getting this kind of exposure, and I want to obviously warn people before it just naturally is heard about. So when we go back at Christmas, I'm thinking about, just how to speak to everyone about it, because obviously it's a pretty serious situation, and I just want to make sure it's handled gently and carefully.
Yeah, I hear you. I think honestly, this is positive news, and all you can do is really tell them about it, tell them what's coming out, and whatever happens after that, just handle it as it comes. I think it's, as we know, it's a really amazing positive thing. So yeah, I just honestly tell them what's coming out, and simple as that. Don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. And yeah, I would just tell them straight up.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. I just want to make sure it doesn't stress everyone out. I want to make sure, it is a positive thing, because it's a lot of stress, and it does put people underneath the spotlight as well. It's not just me that's affected by it. So I just want to be mindful that everyone's comfortable, and that's kind of the thing that I guess I'm learning about all of this, is that it doesn't just affect me. It doesn't just affect me, it affects everyone around me. So I just want to be mindful of that, and I want to make sure that it's delivered the right way.
Of course.
This year's been all about growth. It's been all about building infrastructure. It's been all about building the systems in order to make sure that once we do release what we've been building to the public, and once we let it go out on a global scale, but we're ready to actually sustain such growth. And next year, everything is going to change. This is just chapter 1. And it can be called chapter 1 or something. The YouTube video can be called chapter 1.
That's going to be the ending of the video. It's going to be called chapter 1.
Yeah.
That's